Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's a new week, it's the beginning of my long weekend, and as you recall last time we basically finished up putting the staining and a couple of coats of the acrylic coating on my mineral display case. I've done a couple more coats since then, we got the thing finished, and today we're going to put this bad boy together. Alright, so I got everything back assembled, the shelves are in, the lights are now permanently installed. I'm not going to be using this radical lighting pattern because it'll be too much of a distraction. Just this is an opportunity to kind of test everything out and make sure that it's doing the same thing in all four of the sections. I actually modified this a little bit. I actually cut the wire on the bottom half in half so I could run this little jumper through there rather than the wire itself. The original plan was to have the wire run all the way along the bottom, go through the hole, and continue on to the other side. But in doing that, if I ever have to remove or move the shelves, I'd have to cut the wire, and it just seemed to make more sense to put the jumper here so that if I ever do need to remove the shelves, I can just disconnect there, and the whole thing will come out as one piece. So I think that looks good. I got one more little thing I want to do. I do have the black lights put in there. Right now I don't have them on, but what I did is I went out and bought a remote control device. See, I have this little remote control device that comes with the LED lights, and so I can turn them on, do all the adjustments that I want, to make the light up any color I want, the green, the blue, the red, the white, the purple, which I kind of think is pink, and kind of some of the patterns that are available here to me. I can do that with this, but I cannot turn on the black lights because the black lights are just on these switches here. You can only turn them on this way. Now I went over to Home Depot, and I've had one of these in the past where it's a little remote control electric switch. So I can plug it into the wall, and there's a little remote control fob thing that comes with it, and I can press the button and turn the black lights on with the remote control also. And so I can run either the black lights or the LED strips or both if I want. And like I said, this section up here is going to be for the uranium glass and the UV reactive stuff. So when I want to look at that, we'll turn on the black lights and turn off the LED strip, or I can leave them both on and get a combination of the two. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to install that right now, and I'll show you how that works too. Alright, this is that device I was talking to you about. It just plugs into an outlet, and then you plug your device into that. In this case, it's going to be the USB hub that's powering the UV LED lights. And you just hit the little button here, it triggers this thing to power everything on, and now I can turn the LED lights on, the UV lights on whenever I want, just by flipping this little button here. So let me show you how that works. So this is the little remote, the on, the off button, and basically I press it now and the LED lights come on. So that's how I'm going to light up the uranium glass and the UV reactive minerals, which will all kind of be congregated in this area. So I got one more thing to do right now before I put this thing into its case and or into its position and load it up with rocks. And that is, I want to put some little felt pads on the bottom of it so I can move it around without scratching the floor, because that's kind of important too. I like these floors in here, they're real nice, but I don't want to scratch them if I have to move this thing around. So I've done that in a lot of places in the house, my coffee table, my lazy boy chair and all that. It makes it easier to move this stuff around without damaging the floor, and that's important. Alright, so these are the little felt pads I have. They're about 1/4 of an inch thick. And they have adhesive on one side, so you basically cut them to shape, and I put one of them on each of the 6 legs that are on here. That way, if I do need to move them out, move it away from the wall, like I said, I'm not going to have the wood scraping on the flooring and ripping up the flooring. This will make it so I can move it without damaging the floor, and that's kind of important. Like I said, I've done that on a bunch of other things here, and it works really well. It sticks really well, so it's not going to come off, and it'll definitely protect the floor. So we're pretty much done with this. Let's get it on the floor and into its position, and we can start putting some rocks in here. All right, there's the final product in its final location. Next thing I need to do is figure out what of this I want to put where, because I want to try and organize it on some level. Yes, the uranium glass and the UV reactive stuff is going to go in that upper right section there, because that's where the black lights are. But the rest of it I want to kind of put together and have there be some level of organization with it. I'm thinking maybe that some of the bigger pieces like that one and this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece will go in one section. I think a lot of the really large pieces like that and that piece there will probably go somewhere else. They may even stay on top of the table. But as to the rest of it, I want to kind of have there be a certain level of order with it, where similar things are together. So, you know, I have these three pieces of petrified wood, and they'll go together. These two pieces, which are both kind of the same thing, they'll go together. These two pieces, which are kind of very similar, will go together. So like I say, I want there to be kind of an organization to it, and I'm going to have to kind of play around with that and see what works. After I'm done with that, I also need to create labels for all this stuff, because I want to be able to identify what I have and get to the point where I can say, oh yeah, that's this piece. You know, I have labels for all of it. What I've done is everything I've gotten, I've shot a picture of it and put it on my Facebook page with the official name of the item. So now all I got to do is print labels and put those labels in front of the individual pieces, and then we'll have our display case done. So I'm going to spend a little time kind of organizing this, figure out how this is all going to work, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, I got everything kind of placed in there. I have put the two big pieces in there, at least for now. They'll probably come out at some point because I'll need space for other things. And as I go along, like I said, I got the big pieces over here. They look really nice. I kind of organized things a little bit, so I got a lot of stuff that's similar down there. I like the fact the way the stuff glitters in the light. It actually looks really, really nice down here. And I think this is going to be a very nice display for my collection. And like I said, I love how some of this stuff looks under the black light. You know, that thing is amazing under the black light. It's a very unimpressive piece when you look at it normally, but you hit it with that black light and it just pops. And unfortunately, a lot of this stuff doesn't do that well under the black light. It's all right under the black light, but you really got to hit it with that flashlight to see that. You know, the Upper light barely glows at all here, but you hit it with that black light and you know, there's a big difference here. You can really see the difference on all this stuff when you hit it with the flashlight. But I'm working on that, and I do really love the way the uranium glass looks in here. So I'm going to spend a little time and get the labels made up and get that stuff into here. But for now, I think this is our product here. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Now the next thing I needed to do is create the labels for all these. I've kind of had a mishmash of labels that I've created over time, and you know, they weren't consistent. They you know, some of them were larger, some of them were on different sheets of paper, some of them were laminated, some of them weren't. I decided I wanted to kind of do everything and make it all look the same. So I printed out labels for every one of the rock specimens I had. Basically, I just put it in a laminator and then cut it up into little pieces. So now I just got to go and put the label with each individual piece, and then our project will be complete. Okay, I got everything in there. I got the labels in there. I originally just set the labels in there, but kind of made the decision that they were going to get moved around a little bit if I did that. So I decided to put a little loop of tape behind each one of them so that it will stay in place and not move if there's any breeze in here, if the cats get in here or anything like that. I am really glad at this point that I put all this stuff onto Facebook, took photos of it, and put the official names on it, because some of the labels I received from Gallery 11 I've lost track of. And I would have this stuff and not even know what I had. So that would have been really kind of disappointing. And I'm glad I got everything in here and know what everything is now. That's the big thing. So yeah, this collection is coming along pretty well, don't you think? Probably gonna have to build another shelf now next time I get something new, right? This thing's almost full as it is. I could move the uranium glass out of there, or like I said, we could resume putting stuff on top again. Ultimately, this collection is probably going to grow to the point where I'm going to have to build more space for it. Maybe expand over here to where this cabinet thing is. But like I said, we got a little bit of room to grow right now. It's a really beautiful display case. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think we're wrapping up this video. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.